Hello, dear friends. Have you ever sat quietly by the window, perhaps with a cup of tea in hand, and watched the world move a little faster than it used to? The faces are younger, the music is louder, the gadgets stranger, and somewhere between. The birthdays, the doctor's visits, the grandkids growing taller, something begins to shift, not just in the body, but in how people look at you. They speak slower, they offer too much help, they assume you've begun to fade. But what if they're wrong? What if age isn't the end of something, but the beginning of something deeper? You see, between 70 and 80, many things begin to disappear. Strength, sharpness, even confidence. But not for everyone. Because some people, some extraordinary souls, choose to refuse growing old the way the world expects. They wake up with curiosity. They stretch with intention. They laugh, learn, and challenge what's normal for their age. And today, we're going to talk about the 7 things most people lose between 70 and 80. Unless, of course, you're one of the few who still dares to live fully, boldly. Shall we begin? Number 1, the spark of curiosity. You'd be surprised how many people lose this one first. Not their eyesight, not their balance, but their curiosity. That quiet little voice inside that once asked, "What's out there? What's next? Can I still try something new?" Between the ages of 70 and 80, many begin to believe that the age of wonder has passed. They start to think that all the firsts are behind them. The new hobbies, the adventures, the thrill of learning something unexpected, they say. "Oh, I'm too old for that." Or, "That's for the young ones." But those who age in reverse, they're different. They're the ones who take up watercolor painting at 74, who ask their grandson how to edit a video, who read books about galaxies or ancient poetry as if time is still abundant. They never stop, asking why or how. Or what if, because curiosity isn't something you lose with age. It's something you surrender when you stop believing life has more to offer. And those who keep their curiosity alive, they don't just age better. They stay brighter, lighter, and more connected to the world. So if you still wonder, if you still light up when something sparks your interest, you, my friend, are not growing old, you're still growing. Number 2, confidence in your own body. There's a quiet grief that creeps in between the ages of 70 and 80. It's not loud. It doesn't shout, but it whispers things like, "Careful now, you might fall. Don't lift that, you're too fragile. Let them do it for you." And slowly, a person begins to doubt the very body that has carried them through decades of storms, laughter, and labor. That doubt, that fear, it steals something powerful. Confidence, its true body's change. Knees ache, backs tighten. Balance isn't what it once was. But for those who refuse to grow old the way the world expects, confidence doesn't disappear, it evolves. They don't pretend they're 30. They respect their bodies, stretch gently, walk with purpose, move with awareness. They might not run marathons, but they walk with pride, knowing every step is a declaration. I am still here, I am still strong. I still belong in this world, not as a burden, but as a force. Confidence in your body after 70 doesn't mean you ignore your limits. It means you learn them and move with grace through them, because what the world forgets is this: a body that has lived 70, 80 years is a masterpiece. It's not worn out. It's well used, well proven, and well worthy of respect. So if you still rise each morning and trust your body to carry you, even slowly, even with effort, you're not growing old. You're growing wise. If this video brought a smile to your face or warmed your heart, don't forget to tap the like button. Number 3, joy in the little things. Somewhere along the way, many people stop noticing. The morning sun warming their skin, the delicate scent of rain on the earth, the way birds chatter like old friends outside the window. Between the ages of 70 and 80 for many, the world becomes a little grayer. Not because it is, but because they've been taught to expect less from life. They're told to settle down, to slow down, to let go of joy as if it were a childish thing. But not you. You who still chuckle when your tea spills in a funny pattern. You who find magic in a toddler's giggle or the unexpected kindness of a stranger. You who smile when you remember a song from 1963 and hum it softly as if no one's listening. You haven't lost your joy, because you know something others forget. Happiness doesn't retire. It's still tucked into every simple moment, in peeling an orange just right, in folding laundry with love, in hearing the voice of someone who remembers your story. People who age in reverse don't search for joy in grand vacations or big achievements. They find it in the ordinary, and perhaps that's the greatest wisdom of all: to see what others overlook, to laugh without reason, to be present enough to feel the gift of one more afternoon. So if your heart still lifts at the scent of a home-cooked meal, if you still look out the window and whisper, "Isn't life beautiful?" then know, you're not getting old, you're becoming radiant. Number 4, the courage to speak up. One of the quietest losses in aging isn't physical. It's not about memory or mobility. It's the loss of voice. Not the literal one, but the inner permission to say, "I matter. My thoughts matter. My boundaries matter." Between 70 and 80, many begin to whisper instead of speak, to nod instead of object, to shrink themselves in conversations, as if age has somehow made their ideas less valuable. But here's the truth spoken clearly and boldly. Your voice is a treasure, and those who age in reverse, they don't let it go quiet. They speak their minds not to argue but to contribute. They've seen enough of life to know what matters, and they have the courage to name it. They say, "No, I'm not ready to lead the party yet," or "Yes, I'd like to learn that," or even, "I don't agree with you, but I respect you." They know that every decade lived is a credential, every scar is a speech, every memory is a microphone, and their voice, now more than ever, deserves to be heard. So if you still speak up for what you need, if you still stand your ground, or ask bold questions, or tell a story that makes someone think, then know, you're not becoming invisible, you're becoming powerful. Number 5, the desire to be touched and loved. There's a myth that settles around older age like a fog. It whispers, love is for the young. Affection fades with the years. No one wants to hold wrinkled hands. And many, between 70 and 80, begin to believe it. They stop reaching out first. They stop expecting to be held. They even apologize for needing closeness, as if tenderness has an expiry date. But here's what they forget, what you still remember. The heart does not grow old. It may beat a little slower, but it still longs for warmth, for a hand to hold during a slow walk, for a hug that lasts just a little too long, for words whispered late at night. I'm glad you're still here. Those who age in reverse don't abandon love. They redefine it. They don't wait for romantic fireworks. They cherish quiet companionship, deep friendship, and the kind of love that doesn't need grand gestures, honesty and presence. They sit beside old friends in silence and feel understood. They kiss their partner's cheek with reverence. They pet their dog and call it family. Because love, affection, they are not reserved for the young. They are the nutrients of the soul, at any age, especially now. So if your heart still hopes to be seen, still softens at a gentle touch, still believes in connection, then know, you haven't aged out of love. You've grown into it. Number 6, the willingness to dream. When we're children, dreams are everywhere. We dream of becoming astronauts, dancers, poets. We dream about flying, about love, about faraway places. But as we age, the world quietly tries to convince us that dreaming is something we're supposed to leave behind. By the time people reach 70 or 80, many stop dreaming altogether. Not because they don't want to, but because they've been told, at your age, be realistic. But those who age in reverse, they never give up dreaming. They simply change what they dream about. They may no longer dream of climbing mountains, but they dream of seeing their great-grandchild smile, of writing a little book, of family memories, of traveling to a village they saw once in a documentary. of learning to cook the perfect Italian risotto. They dream not for escape, but for expansion. Not to prove something to the world, but to stay alive in their own skin. Because dreaming isn't just for the young. Dreams are proof that your soul still believes there's something beautiful ahead, something more. And here's a secret. Body may age, the hair may gray, but the imagination, it never wrinkles. So if you still lie awake some nights, imagining possibilities, if you still have a little what if tucked in your heart, then no, you haven't stopped dreaming. You've just started dreaming with wisdom. Number 7, the fire to make a difference. There's a quiet assumption in the world that by 70 or 80, you had your turn, that your season of influence has passed, that now is the time to rest, to fade gently into the background. But those who are truly aging in reverse, they reject that idea completely, because deep inside them, there's still a fire not to chase glory, but to matter. They still want to contribute, to build, to help, to shape the world in some small, sacred way. They mentor, they write letters, they volunteer. They tell the truth when others are silent. They pass on recipes, stories, values, not just out of nostalgia, but because they believe the world still needs their wisdom, and the world does what? Could be more powerful than a person who has lived through storms, walked through fire, seen wars and weddings, grief and grace, and still stands tall enough to say, I'm not done yet. If you still wake up with the desire to give, to comfort, to protect, to spark a thought in someone younger, if you still care deeply about what happens in the world beyond your doorstep, then no, you're not growing old. You're becoming a light, a torchbearer, a difference maker, a quiet revolutionary in soft slippers and a steady heart. And the world is better because you're still in it. So maybe you can't run like you used to. Maybe your fingers move slower. Maybe some names come and go like wind through the curtains. But if you've listened this far, if your heart still beats with hope, if your soul still leans toward light, then please hear this clearly and tenderly. You are not fading. You are unfolding. The world needs elders who live boldly, who laugh freely, who speak gently but firmly, who still believe they can learn, love, dream, and matter. If you recognize yourself in even one of the 7 signs, if something stirred inside you as you listen, then perhaps you're not aging the way the world expects. Perhaps you're aging in reverse, and that, dear soul, is something worth celebrating. If this video made you smile, reflect, or remember your strength, please don't forget to leave a comment, and share with someone you love. Let's grow this beautiful community of people who are rewriting what aging looks and feels like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, because we have so many more warm, wise, and wonderful stories to share with you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being here. You are the reason this message matters. Until next time, keep glowing from the inside out.